man.
Oh.
I don't know if you're in a relationship or actually you are. You're in a relationship. I was speaking to someone about how, everyone talks about the double standard and what people want or what people expect from their mate in this day and age. And there's a debate whether or not the roles have been reversed, or if women, because I see guys saying that they can't be with a girl that doesn't know how to cook, or if she doesn't know how to do this and doesn't know how to do that, and such and so on and so forth. What is your basic criteria for that would deem a woman dateable or undateable for you?
She gotta have a fat booty. That's the number one priority for me.
That's your number one priority?
That's number one priority. Number one. After that, then we're talking about just looks, if I'm attracted to them physically. But that's my number one thing. But in order to get beyond that, it starts to get because like sex is another one of those things that I always compare to. I compare a lot of different things, but it's like ice cream in that we all like different stuff.
Right.
And for me, there has to be certain sexual needs that have to be reached.
Right.
And I have a very low tolerance for the inability to touch that spot,
We don't have to go into detail about what those needs are, but essentially you're saying your needs or your criteria is more physical than anything else.
No. In order to keep me there, long term, the physical stuff has to be there, because when you get into the second year of a relationship, she has to have endurance. And that's when you get to see who the real person is after a year.
Right. And do you mean like physical endurance or like longevity endurance to deal with you? What type of endurance do you mean?
I mean endurance on both ends, physical and emotional, because to be in a relationship you have to have emotional endurance.
Right.
But physical endurance, because
those needs have to be met.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so now what do you think of the whole modern day independent woman movement, and women who say they don't need a man, or who don't necessarily go that far? What do you think of that whole movement?
Well, I subscribe to the teachings of the brother Tariq Nasheed, and Tariq Nasheed says that that the independent women is really only a black woman thing. And it's a mechanism for separating the black woman from the black man.
Right.
And it's instilling in the same mentality of Jim Crow, and basically just separating the family and telling a woman you don't need a man because you are all you need. So just be you, and you don't need this guy. But the fact of the matter is,
that's dysfunctional in a way.
Yes, yeah, but I don't want to become. I was looking at it actually from a different angle. I was looking at it in the fact of the matter is, and the fact that I was looking at it from the perspective. I'm sorry, of the individual, because we all enjoy being loved by somebody.
Right.
And if this independent woman is being this shell, putting herself in this box, either whether it be emotionally or just not going out or whatever,
right.
She's robbing herself of a basic human pleasure point, which is love
and companionship.
Yeah, and companionship. Yeah, because it's great.
Now, when you speak on the point of love, there are women who feel that they don't need that because they have their children, and the love of their children is all they need. What do you think of that aspect?
I can't really speak from it from an accurate perspective, because I'm so far removed from that rationale. But from a society aspect, I would say by all means. But I know a lot of dudes that date girls with kids, so I would hope that she makes very wise decisions, because me and my homeboy, we were talking a while ago, and we both agreed that women walk a very fine line when they have kids, because on this end, if they dating a guy, it's like, why whenever you with this new guy that you're dating, you aren't with your kids,
Right.
And then on the other end is, if all you're doing is being with your kids, then you aren't trying to get them a father figure or whatever. So we were talking, and we were just like, man, that's a tough situation. That's why the single women out there, man, I got love for them. And dudes that be getting girls pregnant and not marrying them and stuff, I give them a hard time. Even my own homeboys. Like, shout out to Eon talking about, it's not that easy, dog. But anyway.
But would you personally ever date a woman with kids?
Yeah, I have dated women with kids. Yeah, I find that women with kids try extra hard to please a man because of that balance that I just talked about. The woman, she has kids. She feels as though those kids are an anchor. This is a certain rationale, not all of them, but it's a certain rationale of women, and it's very prevalent, that feel that these kids, that people won't want to date them because they have kids. So what they do is they put their kids under what we call witness protection, where you don't see pictures of them on Facebook, and they don't talk about them when you out with them or whatever, at least in the early going. But anyway, these women that have these kids that they kind of have this rationale as though they may be a hindrance to their dating. These women, when they are dating, they put significant effort into pleasing that man and to making sure that man knows that she can cook, that she's used to cleaning, and that's been my experience. And my friends, they kind of, roger that. So, and they go the extra mile sex-wise too, and that's my own personal experience. Women with kids go the extra mile sex-wise. And this show is supposed to be for the public, so I won't get more detailed than that. But I found that married women go the extra mile.